Welcome back everyone, this will be my brand new Avatar 2 trailer video, The Way of Water. They finally released a trailer for the movie that it took 14 years for them to get out almost. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. Obviously, I'll do videos for the movie when we get a little bit closer to it coming out. They release some more trailers. It's going to be their big Christmas movie this year because it's a Fox movie technically, but Fox was bought by Disney, so technically it's a Disney movie now. But now everybody's kind of racking their brains trying to remember what happened during the first movie because it's been so long and they haven't been doing a ton behind the scenes. Like they've been showing off a little here and there over the last couple of years, but not really. If you guys didn't realize, James Cameron has actually been working on 4 different sequels. There'll be 5 Avatar movies total, and they're kind of doing a Star Wars type of thing, like with the original movies, the original 6 movies, where you do the saga of Anakin Skywalker, where like these sequels, all the movies, follow Jake Sully's family across the different films. This first film, Avatar 2, The Way of Water, is obviously all based on this water-based culture that they travel to. But obviously this trailer teases there have been a lot of changes in the Pandora planet itself and the culture between their different peoples, the humans and the Na'vi, over this 14 years that have gone by. One of the biggest changes is that now they have 3 children. One of them is an adopted human child, and 2 of them are naturally born Na'vi children. So Jake, Sully, and Neytiri are both just a little bit older. Even though they both look like they looked in the first movie, they don't look that much older because they're basically giant blue aliens. The human child that they've adopted is named Neteyam. This is what he looks like. Obviously, they follow the Na'vi culture, so even though he is human, he has adopted their ways as he's gotten older. The way they explain his character is that he was the son of some of the human colonists who came to mine the unobtainium, because remember, unobtainium is like the big ore that they're trying to mine there, is the source of the entire conflict during the first movie. He's the son of some of those humans who wound up dying during one of the conflicts, so he was orphaned. They just adopted him after some tragedy relating to that. Their younger Na'vi son that they've had is named Loak. This is what he looks like. And then their youngest natural-born Na'vi daughter is named Tuk. This is what she looks like. She's about 8 years old. Early in the trailer, you see their family flying and running across the different landscapes of Pandora as they head to this water tribe, this new place. All these shots are basically their family just changing their location on Pandora. The official synopsis of the plot says, set more than a decade after the events of the first film, it's set about 14 years after the first film, Avatar: The Way of Water begins to tell the story of the Sully family, Jake Sully's family, the trouble that follows them, and the lengths they go to keep each other safe, the battles they fight to stay alive, and the tragedies they endure across the years, across these 4 sequels. James Cameron said that so much is going on Pandora. It's such a big planet with so many different cultures that each of the different sequels is meant to feel like a completely different movie, even though they are all sequels, they're all interconnected in loose ways. But like each sequel isn't going to have 14 years in between them. I think the idea they're hyping up here in the trailer and what's going on in the synopsis is that the sequels will just follow their family as their children get older. Eventually, by the time you get to the last movie, Avatar 5, whatever the title of that winds up being, their children will be the main characters. And I believe they actually did film a lot of the footage for the sequels while they were filming the footage for this second movie. Like they didn't just work on the second movie. That's one of the reasons why it's taken 14 years to finish all these movies. They weren't just working on that one movie. If you follow what a lot of the actors said after the first film, because James Cameron had been hyping up the sequels when he was releasing that first film way back in 2009, Stephen Lang was saying that he would be back somehow, but he didn't know exactly how that was going to work because it's a sci-fi film, obviously. James Cameron did confirm that Stephen Lang's character, Colonel Miles Quaritch, would be the main antagonist of all the movies, all the sequels, but the form that his villain character would take would change between all the sequels. There'd be like this evolution of his evil character over all these sequels. I think a lot of this has to do with the more mystical nature, the energy transference, the way he transfers his mind, his soul, to his avatar Na'vi body at the end of the film. Like his consciousness is able to survive his physical body's death, so I think it's going to be a similar situation for Stephen Lang's character. But like for instance, he said that Sigourney Weaver is coming back to the movie, but she'll be a completely different character. So it is possible that Stephen Lang just plays a completely different character, and it just is his voice sounds very similar to Miles Quaritch's voice, even though his villain character in the sequels has no relation to the Miles Quaritch Colonel character. But I wouldn't completely bet out that there's going to be some connection between his original Colonel character and what's going on with his new villain character. It just feels weird for James Cameron to bring back all these same actors and then say, no, they're completely different, even though they sound exactly the same. Some of the shots that they show you during the trailer are meant to mirror shots from that first Avatar trailer back in 2009. Like this is a shot of Neytiri's eyes, just like you saw during the first Avatar trailer so many years ago. A lot of the music from the trailer is meant to feel very similar to the music from that first original trailer way back in the day. Even though there's no dialogue during the trailer, it's actually a pretty decent trailer. Even though people say, you know, will this be just as big a hit as the original one? It probably won't make quite as much money as the original one, but one of the important things that you have to remember is that you never bet against James Cameron.
I know one thing. Wherever we go.
He didn't direct that last Terminator movie, like he was very loosely involved with that last Terminator movie. This time, this movie is completely his from the ground up from start to finish, which is why I think that he'll surprise people with how successful it winds up being. As they fly their family to this new water-based culture in a different part of Pandora, two of the other really big characters that he's introducing are both Kate Winslet and Vin Diesel's character. Now, he didn't say who Vin Diesel is playing, but he did say that Kate Winslet is a big part of this water-based tribe. I think that this character here is meant to be Kate Winslet's character. So I'm assuming that he would let Vin Diesel play like some small, funny Groot-like character, like he's playing some big badass. This character is probably the leader of this water-based tribe or just someone really important inside the tribe. That's probably going to be Vin Diesel's character. One of the other major changes in the culture of Pandora, the face of the planet itself, seems like the Na'vi have started working with humans, even though at the end of the last movie they expelled all of them off the planet. The way they tease Stephen Lang's villain in this movie, they say an ancient threat resurfaces, Jake must fight a difficult war against the humans. It does sound like Stephen Lang's character is connected to his original character, like it's his consciousness who has survived, or it's his body who somehow survived the accident at the end of the film. And somehow that gets twisted with the more mystical nature of what's going on Pandora. And that's how he goes from being a more contemporary type of traditional threat to a more ancient type of threat. Like it's a Darth Vader Emperor situation. You meet the Emperor that somehow has something to do with what's going on with Stephen Lang's character. And his villain character slowly evolves into an Emperor-like character towards the end of the last film. You have to imagine Jake Sully's character meeting the Stephen Lang villain character again after 14 years. It's just like Darth Vader meeting Obi-Wan Kenobi inside the Death Star. At last, we meet again.
The circle is now complete. When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master.
Which, because this is all part of the Disney umbrella, you're thinking about the Obi-Wan Kenobi episodes with Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi's rematch set 10 years after Revenge of the Sith. Don't worry, I will be doing videos for the Obi-Wan Kenobi episodes starting in a couple weeks. Those are going to be crazy in a really, really cool way. I think what they're slowly hyping up is that eventually the humans who are good will start working with the Na'vi, and it'll be like Na'vi plus good humans against whatever major threat winds up rising up through the rest of the sequels. Like obviously the threat is very localized to Pandora right now, but I think eventually the Stephen Lang villain character, whatever this ancient threat is, will evolve to become a much, much bigger galactic level problem towards the end of the sequels. The other real big thing they just do in this trailer is show you many of the other locations of Pandora, even though most of the movie is localized around this one particular water tribe. I think the idea through the sequels, though, is that they will travel to different major locations in Pandora so that they all look very different, even though it's the same planet. For the most part, though, all the major characters who were still alive at the end of the last film are coming back for this film as well. So in the way that the Star Wars sequels had this big time jump between Episode 1, Phantom Menace, and Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, this is kind of the same situation. It'd be like if they had waited 10 years in real life after Phantom Menace to actually release Attack of the Clones. And even though I'm using the prequels example, this movie is not a prequel, it's obviously a sequel to the original Avatar movie. But if you have any big questions about what's going on in the movie, just leave them in the comments below. Like I said, my Obi-Wan Kenobi episodes will start in a couple weeks, so I'll be doing bonus videos for that really soon too. We'll get more footage for Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Darth Vader really soon. I've got a whole bunch of Doctor Strange 2 Multiverse of Madness videos planned for specific things in the movies. If you have any requests for that too, post them in the comments below. Everyone click here for my full breakdown Easter eggs for the entire movie right here, and click here for my full Doctor Strange 2 post-credit scene video. Thank you so much for watching. Everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.